Hello, fellow book lovers and fellow mood readers. My name is Jessica, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. To those of you who've watched my other videos, thank you so much for sticking around and so much for watching them. I hope you enjoyed them. Today, I wanted to do the Booktube Newbie Tag, but it's by someone named Brenda C. And I saw a lot of other booktubers do it, and I figured it'd give you a good idea of things like why I started the channel, why I want to do this, and some of my favorites, what got me into reading, things like that. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, question 1 is, why did you want to start this channel? And the answer really is the book community. There is a bit of a community on Instagram and, well, Bookstagram, and there is another community on Booktube, and I just love to talk about books, so I figured it would be nice to get to know the people on Booktube and give it a shot and see who else I could talk to about the things that we all love and kind of get that out there. And I wanted to try something new and just get myself out there. Question 2 was, what are some fun and unique things that you could bring to Booktube? At this point, there's so many other booktubers and so many other people with so many interesting and creative ideas. Really, all I can think of that I could bring is just my perspective on the books that I read, what I love, just me. And I hope that's enough, and I'd like to just have a little community. So question 3 is, what are you most excited for about the new channel? Like I said, the community. I love to interact and talk to people about their favorite books and what they like to read, or their conversations about the books that I've read. And I like to just have that conversation. I talk to one of my best friends all the time about books. We buddy read a lot together, but I'd like to do it more as well. I just would like to kind of expand on that, maybe see who else I can get new perspectives from, and just to get to know other people. Question 4 is, why do you love reading? That's a biggie. That's a big question. I've always loved reading. It's a little bit hard to say, but I know now I love it for all of the different stories, the different worlds that you could get lost in. Just the creativity is mind-blowing, and I love imagining things. And it really helps me through some of the tougher times and when I'm not feeling quite right. So I just love to read, to kind of find that portal into another world. And so I think that's partly why fantasy is such a big one for me, is because it just takes you away from real life when it's harder. And it's just so nice to see the creativity and take a leap into others' perspectives and kind of put yourself in someone else's shoes for a while. I'd like to know why you love reading also, if you wouldn't mind letting me know and dropping a comment later. I just love books and I love talking about them. So the next question, number 5, is, what book or series got you into reading? Like I said, I've read all of my life. I remember reading a lot of like Nancy Drew, and I believe I read Goosebumps too when I was younger, but I feel like the thing that really got me into, especially into fantasy, when I took that big leap, was with The Hobbit, and then later on into The Lord of the Rings. My dad always read the fantasy books, and he's the one that got me started on this. So it was definitely, without a doubt, this book's fault right here. This is a copy he gifted me for Christmas a long, long time ago. It's like 2007. I'll be annotating this just because it's my personal copy. It's not going anywhere. So this one I'm going to annotate, and then I did buy a new paperback set of The Lord of the Rings to annotate as well. But I will be doing this one first, and I think I'm going to start it shortly because this is just one of my favorites. It's been forever. I want a deeper read into it and just have another go at it for the millionth time, you know? Okay, question 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I'm not even sure, to be honest. I would ask how you come up with some of these ideas and how in the world you do some of these vlogs and have so many things going on at once. I'll probably get a taste of it with some things, but that's kind of my question. Like, how do you do what you do? Question 7 is also a big one. What challenges with starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And I would say it's how nervous I am with doing these videos. I get pretty anxious a lot. I do have anxiety problems. So those I believe are going to be some of the things that are hardest. But like I said, I really want to find a community and talk about the things that we all love and just get to know others. I want to get out of that comfort zone and I want to just give it a try. So I think just my nerves are going to be the hardest thing, and kind of being a little bit of a perfectionist with certain things with filming. When I first started, I was over editing because I was afraid of any kind of filler, like giving myself a second to decide what to say or how to say it. So I think that's going to be the biggest hurdle for me. Question 8 is, when did you start reading? And like I said, I don't even remember. All I remember is we used to go to the library a lot, and I would do the accelerated reading program where, you read a bunch of books and took a bunch of tests. And I did love it. It just gave me a goal to work towards, and I loved reading anyway, and I was going to read anyway, so might as well do accelerated reading. I was extremely young. I just got into books then, and then really latched onto it later. I did go through a slump a few years ago where I didn't read anything, and I'm so glad to be back into them because that was the worst time ever. I just stopped doing everything that I loved, and then one day I just picked up another book, and it was just like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket. And I'm just really glad that I'm not in that kind of slump ever again. I think it lasted a few years, but a very long time is the answer to this question, because I honestly cannot remember even what was the first book that I read. I've just been reading forever. So question 9 is, where do you read? And the answer is everywhere. I take my book to work with me, and I read on breaks. I read in the car. I read in here a lot, which, being surrounded by books and reading in this cozy space, I've got some like warmer lights if I want like a dimmer, more cozy experience. I might try vlogging with those and see if it's a night and a flight for the camera. I do love reading in here a lot, and I also read in the other room. We have a record player, and we have a couple chairs in there and a TV, the surround sound and everything. And I like to read in there when my fiance Warren, whenever he plays records, I'll just go in and sit with him and we'll read in there. I'll read in bed. I'll read anywhere, honestly. I've always got a book. And our final question, number 10, is, what kind of books do you like to read? So, like my name implies, Library of a Mood Reader, I am a huge mood reader, and I will read almost any genre, wherever my mood takes me, whatever I'm feeling. I read horror, I read fantasy. Those two are probably my top favorites, but there's always something good to find in every genre. So I'm not going to count any of them out, but there are some that I just don't tend to stray towards. But every now and again, a good palate cleanser, it could be a good rom-com. So I think probably top has been fantasy lately. That's where my mood has been. But sometimes certain authors or certain releases will actually draw me away from that. Like right now I'm reading Kate Quinn, The Briar Club, which is not fantasy. Kate Quinn's great for her historical fiction. She's one of my auto-buy authors. The only one I haven't gotten has been The Phoenix Crown. I saw mixed things and I wasn't sure, so I didn't end up getting it. But I might go for it on audio later. She's usually one of my favorites of the year whenever she's written a book, so I'm excited. And I'm about halfway through Briar Club and enjoying it right now. But I am feeling fantasy a lot lately. And then towards the fall, I start to gravitate towards horror or anything like supernatural, like the witchy books and anything like that. So be prepared. Those are probably what I'm going to be reading. What kind of books do you guys like to read? Like I said, I'd love to have some conversations in the comments with you. I'd love to hear from you about any of your favorites. Where do you read? Do you have a home library too? Do you have a little book nook? I want to find a nice community. Everybody's always so nice and welcoming in the book community. So I'm just excited to meet everyone. I want to meet everybody. Honestly, I'd love to just talk about books with you guys and talk about things that you love. Not just books. I like gaming. Cozy gaming more so lately, but I do like other kinds of games. Like I like horror games and other things like that, and I do love music. So anything that you love, just let me know. It's about the community. It's about talking to each other and getting to know each other, and I'm just excited for that. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed my other videos. I have more out shopping videos planned. There's a little bit of a road trip we're going to be taking soon, so that's exciting, and I can't wait to see these bookstores. They make me so excited. And I hope you are excited to join me on them and excited to join me on this whole journey. So thank you for watching, and if you could like, subscribe, and drop a comment, let me get to know you. That's what I want. Thank you so much.